Hey guys, here playing as Noise, and we're trying out the new turntable build that is ready for the most wanted list. So, come away from Grimoire because we're not playing Claude in this list anymore. We still need a way to deal with Astro Strip, so the idea is going to be to just take the Astro token after they score an Astro, which is not a completely foolproof plan. But we'll see, it might be okay. So we get a fairly awkward start here. Alright, let's just face check and see if this is anything Parasite. Eli. Don't really care to Parasite that. I think we're just gonna get a credit and hope we draw money next turn. So probably some sort of campaign here, but weirdly he doesn't have the money to res it. So he's gonna ice up his campaign. Maybe it's a Breaker Bear or something. Okay, this could be good. Peddler's gonna find us a daily cast, cash. And that's the cash has to be the play, I think. And we can get our should be at 5, right? Yeah. Let's start killing this. It's not quite dead yet. But we've got our combo up fairly early, so typically if you can get this set up and find your Aesops, then this magic can be okay. If they have like 3 Turing, that's fairly problematic, but so what I'm going to do, you can do Octagon, is you can actually modify your max clicks to 5, and then when you hit F4, you don't have to actually click your chronotype return. So let's check our spoils. Thought that might have been a Jackson. It's not. We're going to get some information about what's in his deck. He's playing the Viper, just not too common, and there's a Toll Booth, which is good to know about. So, Deja's not very exciting right just yet. Probably can't get through that. Let's just, no, let's not do anything. I'm assuming this is just another random campaign. It is. So we have 3 imps. Any luck, we'll see one next couple turns. As for this one, if this is Architect, we'll be very sad to let him get his booth back. Can probably just do nothing for a little while. Yeah. Login protocol. Ooh, that's actually pretty spicy. Don't see that too often at all. But it's good. So we're going to pry out an Ichi. Too bad, because I was hoping we'd see an agenda here, having him gone through 15 cards. We probably just missed in his hand. He probably has maybe even 2 agendas right now, depending on what his density is. ELP comes up. Yep, that's an issue. Because we're actually playing a couple Dirty Laundry, but that's it. So we might just not go anywhere for a little while. Let him tick down his money. Got 2 David, 3 Imp, but nothing to answer this yet. So Turntable will at least mean he can't score food early because we'll just swap it and get it. And he'll end up with just a regular 2-pointer and we'll have the 3-pointer. Maybe he could even be on Sand for all we know, and that could make this really good. If we can steal a 1-pointer and trade it up. Well, there is what we've needed for a little while. That's great. I don't want to pay 2 clicks to run that just yet. I think we'll let him have it. No, we'll not. Or, whoops, actually. Can't do that because of the login protocol. So we'll just chill out. And we don't need this turntable. Yeah. So we're going to be a bit cramped for memory, having only 5 instead of 6, but now that the pawn shop is here, it's probably going to be fine. So we'll definitely feel the lack of a clone chip, because if we had clone chip, we could insta-kill pretty much anything annoying. As is, we're going to have some trouble. So that's got to be an agenda, right? Oh, if it's toll booth, but can it be toll booth? You need a second toll booth. I'm going to hope it's Turing. Ugh. Yeah. Well, this is probably an APD, but let's make sure. Corporate war. What? Oh my goodness. Well, that was certainly worth a David token. I thought he was getting all tricky on us. Huh. Alrighty then. We need this corroder. Gonna say probably not. I want to keep the lamprey because I have a click left. I do, right? Yeah, I want to keep the corroder, or sorry, keep the lamprey to play it just for a mill. It's not going to do much in terms of actually lamprey locking him because of these 2 Eve campaigns just running down. So you can now play games with us, just make us slam into things, into that booth over and over again. I don't want to do that. Let's go flush the imp, or flush the Jackson now before he gets a beta test off. Now, would he expect me to run this? I don't think we should run this. I don't think it's that great. Oh, he's changing his Jackson. Guess that's okay. So 3 hidden. We don't know if there's a Cyberdex. I'm really reluctant to run in case one of these 2 face downs is a Cyberdex. But if he has ELP, could be a sign that he does not have a Cyberdex. To think about that. If I play Lamprey, would he purge? I think if I was him, I might even purge. So maybe we'll not do that just yet. We'll just do nothing for that turn. And prepare ourselves to hit this, go through this toll booth again, or maybe even parasite it down. He left his booth in there, so he must be confident that he has more ice. I really don't think this is an agenda. I think it's an Ash or Caprice. We're gonna do a pawn because the imp is... The imp is okay. I'm gonna be optimistic about that. And hope our imp's not gonna get purged here. If it does, well, we can at least pawn it next turn. So we've hit and the pad and the architect. All right. So our options now are to run again to get 5 suckers, parasite this, and then kill this off. He probably gets the score, and we destroy the toll booth and whatever's behind it. Or we can just run through the David and then try to run through again after we trash it, whatever's behind there. I don't think I want to pay 6 to the toll booth. I'd rather just pay 3. I should get my Cyber Feeder down. This was bad. I should have played this several turns ago, but whoops. So making him res the Ash, which is fine. He'll trace us out. Imp will kill the Ash. Yeah, definitely needed to find a click to play the Cyber Feeder down. Because we would have got a couple bucks off it so far. Well, he gets a beta, and he can even fire it because he's got a click left. Gets Enigma. Alright. One assumes that this is a Jackson Howard. Do we want both suckers? I don't think we want both suckers. Don't want to challenge that without Mimic out. I think we'll just take this opportunity to finally get down our Cyber Feeder. Better late than never, I guess. And we'll sit tight for another turn. We should be able to line up a medium dig in decent order. Assuming this is like a Crisium, we can imp it. Only one Mimic in this deck, so not surprising I haven't seen it. Yeah, there's a Jackson. He's down to 14 cards, so we can probably just deck him. Because we can Deja for cash, or even for like more parasites is probably better than cashes. We're going to be okay for money with both daily cast running here. So he's going to make this a scoring remote now that he's put the Jackson in there, which makes a lot of sense. Lamprey's no good. I'll sell this before my next turn starts. Parasite. Maybe cash is okay for the second one. So definitely missing the Grimoire right now. Would have had a token here and another dollar here, but we're surviving. I still think we don't want to run yet until our Mimic comes up. I know he's got Ichi as well somewhere, so even an Ichi and a sucker would be better. So Octagon's not going to properly do this part. What I want to do is draw from wild side and see what my cards are before I decide whether I want to pawn this or this. Because these are all turn start triggers. You could do in any order. I am just going to pawn this and let this go, actually. I don't want to try to mess with the interface to get it to work properly. Okay, that's about what I thought was going to happen, so that's all good. Mimic nowhere to be found, leaving me with the idea of contesting this. What can keep me out? Like, Architect is basically his best dice here. We can click an Ichi. If that's Caprice, we're in trouble. I think we actually want to draw for Mimic, maybe. Or Faust. We have 2 Faust. Yeah, that's all right. Let's get that down. And now we can start poking here. If it is in fact Ichi here, we're unsafe. So this is Ichi, we're also unsafe. We need a sucker token, so we gotta wait for this to die. Which is not that exciting, honestly. You know, let's risk this. This has been here for a long time. If we end up losing a program, we can replace all the ones we have. Okay. So, lacking our clone chip, you can definitely tell that this is a different noise than before. No clones, no insta-kill on the parasite. Womp womp. So I think it's discarding non-virus, and we're going to try to go and just deck him. Between Mimic, or medium accesses, and milling him, I think we can get through 13 cards. Ah, but choice of the counter, that's actually really good for him. Okay, so where are we at in terms of this turn? I think we want to just dump a card in the bin with this. Go check him. No hits, so he might be loaded in his HQ. Interesting. Well, let's go through here, or attempt to. I think he'll just stop me if he has a Cyberdex, but I guess he doesn't, so that's cool. Ash, what? I'm gonna pay 4 credits. I wanna see a card. I got money now. This thing with Cyber Feeders, you got a ton of money late game. So getting rid of that toll booth is a pretty important thing because the toll booth is super annoying for us right now. I'm gonna actually pitch the Faust, knowing we're gonna draw a second one. I wanna keep all my viruses so I can spam viruses on him. All right, so chip, mimic, run, I think is the line. I mean, surely that can't be a third Enigma, right? And if it is, we can chip. Yeah, this should be okay. Worst case, we'll chip out the Faust here. Bastion. Well, that's kind of in the annoying spot, isn't it? Gonna pay net of 2 credits for an access. Fills up our MU, kind of, unfortunately. I didn't want to go through, actually. I think it's going to be worth it. Let's get the Croter after all. I'd ponder getting another sucker token, or sucker beforehand, but I don't think it's really worth it. We'll just pay through and see a card. It's Architect. Ugh. Petals is going to hit things that I think I want, so... He'll just hang out and won't play the pedals. Yeah, really he's had enough money the whole game. We haven't been able to fight him on economy. Just on keeping his ice count low. I was hoping to steal so we could swap away his Vitruvius counter and then he won't get to use it. That would be pretty tasty. Really? He's going to challenge on this server? Interesting. We should try to get that right. I mean, Turing doesn't stop us. Booth doesn't stop us. We gotta be kind of okay, right? So we'll do 3, 1, 2. Feet are doing work again. Hedge fund up top, and there's a beta test. He does not, in fact, use the token. And we're gonna get to swap him. I want some more sucker tokens. Let's get one more sucker token. We can check this card. Oh, that's the booth we knew we milled. Derp, derp. We got a sucker anyway, which is kind of what I was mainly looking for. Let's challenge this. Oh boy, alright. Yeah, that's fine. A little brain damage never hurt anybody. Going to 0. Bold move. I want to conserve, I think, 1 token in case there's an Ichi later on. But I will break this. And let's see what we got. Corporate War again. So I think he's probably on Most Wanted as well, and that's why he's not playing any PD. He's playing Corporate War instead in that slot. And there's an Ash, which we'll get rid of. Interesting stuff. He's gonna draw hedge fund. Right. Yeah, he is. That's fine. We'll discard the pedals. Actually, I'm gonna discard Avid Worse because we can at least play this when our deck is empty for a pawnable thing. I'm not going to play either of these cards for the effect. He's on 5 in R&D. I don't think he can score 2 in this time. He's got a race. I mean, that's fair, right? But he can do that. But it doesn't matter. We're just going to mill him out. 4 cards left. Do we have another virus? I should know this, right? No, we've got a wild side. We've got a... I want to kill this even. let's see if we hit a virus here. Too lazy to check. All right, okay. I could have checked my whole deck to see what was remaining, but all right, good to know. Yeah, I was hoping to put him out of his misery, but he's going to concede anyway, which is fair. So, Turntable did a little bit of work. 5MU was enough in the end. I definitely think that the whole most wanted thing hurt him more than it hurt me, which is kind of interesting. Like, both times, well, at least the first time, we were in rough shape. If it was an APD, we would have not got the score. This card is kind of okay. I think there's a better one coming out soon. That doesn't have the drawback of losing credits, because in the second time, even if he had scored it, he didn't have $7 left. He would have been at 6 from this and down to 4 when he scored it, and then lost the remaining $4. So that's kind of awful. Not a huge fan of this. I think I'd rather just play food in there, spend the influence that way. Also didn't have to fight Caprice, which was amazing. So if there's less Caprices, I'm going to enjoy Netrunner more, because I really don't like having to play the side games that decide the fate of the game in a lot of cases. With Ash, like, it's all about your money, right? So it feels more fair in that way. You know, you count your credits, you count their credits, you play efficiently through the game, and in the end you might have enough money to trash the Ash or pay the trace, rather than just a random chance. So I'll be happy if there's less Caprice in HB. Be nice. Well, we got our feeder out late due to some poor sequencing, but it still was pretty great. I think I'm leaning back towards Cyber Feeder now, if the game slows down a bit. Especially if you're going to use it for regular breakers like Corroder. And with Faust, you can always just use it for a Faust discard if you get it really late in the game and it's not worth installing. I think we're going to have to start floating tags a little more with like Sync and maybe some other tag storm decks out of like NEH and Harpsichord. So having hardware economy is pretty valuable. You can maybe even change one of these daily casts into a Cyber Feeder so we can go tag me a little more easily. Thanks for watching, guys.